Okay, let's see if this works. I have, unlike my brother, I actually wrote out a thing which is on my screen. If this feels a little scripted, it is. Hi everyone. Artemis here for the first time for week number 3, Neuro abilities and difficulties. Brief introduction for you all. I'm Alex's sister, cisgender female, 18 years old, engaged to Bakura, who also lives in Alex's headspace. I'm not an alter. Both myself and Alex were born into the body. I have a passion, for exploration and learning new things. So, me and Alex were talking over what we could possibly say about this and how we could best explain the pros and cons that we experience. And so after some brainstorming back and forth with each other, he's just letting me have this one. And so I'll start with the difficulties, and that way we can end on a happy note, because no one likes to end on a sad, depressing thing. So, one of the biggest difficulties that what is that I wrote? Okay, yes. One of the biggest difficulties that just we in general experience, we meaning other than Alex, the people who live with Alex experience, and for that matter, people who have multiplicity and have alters and have people that aren't themselves living with them, is other people trying to tell you that you don't exist. And I mean, okay, there's a big overlap in the mindsets of the transgender and the multiple community, in my opinion. And in particular, the idea of the majority privilege. Cisgender people have the privilege of not having to deal with everything that comes with having a different gender identity. They're born with everything already matching up. And I do feel privileged, when I'm fronting, that everything matches up. I don't front particularly often as of the last few years. I used to front a lot more when we were kids, but I've just sort of backed away for a while because Alex was doing his own thing, and Alex was in high school, and it would have been, and he was sure that he was going to legitimately stay in that high school, unlike every other school that he was going to. But I'm currently the only person in the system to have that privilege. I'm a single one girl in a head full of guys, and it's really weird thinking about that, because I'm the only one who can front and be the right gender. And so on the multiplicity side, the big thing is singlets. That's the multiplicity term for people who are only themselves. Singlets have the privilege of not having to try and prove they exist. They're just automatically given that, unlike those of us who have to share with others. Because, I mean, my brother and I were born pretty much forced to share not even pretty much, we were forced to share the one body we were given. This is the only body we have, and we can't control that. A transgender person can get surgery to have everything match up, but there isn't a surgery in existence that can separate the two of us into two separate bodies, because it's not the same thing exactly as Siamese twins. There aren't any extra fingers, there aren't any extra toes, there's just this one body and we're both in it. And even more than that, even more than just having to share this body, my own parents don't know me. I'm literally invisible to them. They never, to this day, do not know I exist. The only person who does, only two people who do that we know personally are Alex and Alex's girlfriend, and the people in both those systems. So, yeah, how's that for a difficulty? moving on to the happier notes of multiplicity, and so that I don't dwell on that and sink and have to redo this video or something. But happier notes, one of the best things about this, all of this, is literally you aren't ever alone. Like, there's an entire other world on the other side of this skull, and as long as you know how to get there, then you can't ever be alone. And all kinds of people live there with us. At current count, there are 11 others, other than myself and Alex, and of course I don't get along with all of them. That's like an unattainable goal, because as with every group of people, there are going to be those people who just are impossible to get along with. But I do have a few good friends, and I have a wonderful, wonderful fiance, and that is personally enough for me. And for some people, the idea of not having time to yourself can be terrifying, but I do ask that you don't misunderstand the exact meaning that I'm trying to get at. What I mean to say, really, is it's like a tight-knit little town. Like, you've all lived there together, and you know so much about each other, but everyone still obviously has their secrets, and there are things that they don't share, and that's fine, because it's just, it's like any other group of people. I mean, if this were closer knit little neighborhood, it'd be like literally going across the street and seeing someone that I know out here, except for it's in here, and that's fine. And another really cool thing, just as far as good things go, is there's just like this constant, like, peripheral feeling, like just tickling away at the back of your mind. Like, even when you're the only one fronting, like I am right now, I just know that at any point in this, with I'd say minimal effort, like, it's not too particularly difficult for us to front and co-front and change out who's fronting. Like, it's not particularly difficult. It can be difficult, like, okay, say right now, Koshe is asleep in here. If I try to get out of front and try and push Koshe into the front, that's not gonna work, because he's asleep. Like, that seems obvious. It'd be like you and your friend are going to go to the mall, but the problem is your friend is asleep, and so you're trying to carry them out to the car. It's not going to work. And so that's a good, like, it's a fun, good thing, like, knowing that the ability is there to just step out front, step out of this world, the physical world, because I say physical because this world feels, frankly, just as physical as the other one. But it's nice to be able to just step out of front and be somewhere beautiful and amazing, and have the ability to talk to people that I wouldn't otherwise know or be able to. And I've completely derived from where my little thing I wrote out was. But yeah, I guess that's our situation in a nutshell. Good and bad things. So this is Artemis signing off. Where is the